Can't be stuck if it's liquid. This is my 1991 GMC Sonoma, and this is what I'm driving while the step side's off the road. So this is my daily driver. This thing ain't super special. It's got a 4-cylinder and a 5-speed manual transmission. But obviously it's in the shop here for a reason. So, if it's not apparent already, this vehicle does not run. Unfortunately, I believe I've got some busted timing gears. We checked the camshaft and it's not spinning, and we noticed because it wasn't spinning the distributor. So I got some new timing gears to go into this, and it's just a matter of doing it. But first off, I gotta go into this thing and check to see whether that is the issue. So the problem with the existing timing gears on these trucks is that they make them out of fiber. So it's supposed to be quieter, but all that really does is just make them really weak. So I got some upgraded ones. These ones are an upgraded set of timing gears. They are made out of aluminum instead of fiber, or at least the cam gear is made out of aluminum and the crank gear is made out of steel. And these should be a worthy upgrade for this motor. That's really the only problem that these things have. Or at least the only major problem that these things have. So yeah, I'm gonna start tearing this apart and seeing if that is my problem. Got a bit of an interesting one here. Got the taking off the fan shroud here, and the power steering reservoir is attached to it. So that's a first. There is not a world where you drain coolant and don't get it everywhere. Alright, got the radiator off and the fan clutch off. That is our timing gear cover right there. And this little alternator bracket's getting in the way here. So I'm gonna start pulling it off. I think there's just a couple bolts back there, a couple bolting it right there, and maybe one or two at the bottom. Yeah. Secret start in your heart to slow. But if you don't want to tell me now, I guess I'll never know. Here we go. We are moments away from the lure drop. Yep. Just as I expected, we lost teeth. And you can see all of that. Looks like wood chips. That's the fiber teeth. Maybe like that if we had a... Look at this gear. Ooh. That's supposed to do that? I don't think so.
Swagger down the street with your red lips and funky beat. You better hold your head up to the sky. Roll, roll, till the day I die.
Can't be stuck if it's liquid.
Hey, swing those hips around. Can't stop, roll that down my leg. Short haul, in a line, always down and ready to ride. One by one, billion by billion, holding up hand to sky. Raise your hand if you're ready and willing, if you know it's time.
So we're gonna look at trying to pull the cam gear now, which the crank gear, funny enough, kind of just fell off, like not tight at all, which is a little curious. But the actual keyway on the crankshaft doesn't look messed up at all, so it's hard to say whether it's designed that way or if this engine's running on borrowed time. The camshaft gear, we actually might need to pull the cam out. I think I've seen people do that before. I think that's probably the way that they want you to do it from the factory. But we're gonna try and maybe make a puller to kind of get in the access holes and just kind of pull on it. That would be ideal. But if not, we'll take the cam out, pull the valve cover off the lifters and push rods, pull the rockers off. But yeah, the other thing we got right here with our, this is our old timing cover, and you can see all the gunk in there. So, you know, this thing's definitely been a little abused in the past, and hopefully that's not too big of a deal. But either case, this engine's getting to the end of its life, so I'm just hoping to put it back together and at least get a few kilometers out of it still. but yeah, we'll see how it goes. So first we'll try and just pull this cam gear off.
1 minute later.
So, change of plans, we just turned over the cam a bit, and yeah, those little access holes are for the cam bolts to hold the cam in, so we're just gonna pop those bolts off and pull the cam out. Then we'll just use the press. So we're gonna start by pulling off the air cleaner and then valve cover. Engine work.
So I will find 6 more of these magnets, I guess.
So I picked the rockers and push arms off of the valve tray in here. And in those little holes are the lifters. So we got to be able to push those lifters up in order to be able to pull the cam out. So we're gonna get a little creative with how we hold those lifters up. Hopefully none of them drop into the oil pan. There's a little bit of weird for you to get a camera angle, huh? Is it up?
Not yet, it's like right. That's just let go. Squish all these guys' tools. That seems to be up to me.
Magnet and vice grip set 1. This is what using 100% of the brain looks like.
If it comes out, which it probably won't. Just be very careful with it, right?
Good start of being careful. Turns out right there is the cover for the shaft for the oil pump that runs off the cam. Little research goes a long way. Oil pump shaft.
Oh, that's definitely what spins your oil pump.
Oh, focus, focus, focus. Yeah, there. Yeah, I'd say so. Okay.
Just misses the truck.
Wow.
Perfection.
Engineering at its finest, ladies and gentlemen. There we go. Cam is out. Just barely misses the core support, so you can do that with the core support end. assembly grease on the cam. That looks like a cam that's ready to install. Ladies and gentlemen, it's official. The magnet and vice grip method works for removing a cam. So put it in the manuals, put it in the books. It works. So about time to take out the spark plugs so we can time the thing easy enough. Because with the spark plugs in and compression, you're not going to be able to twist that over and keep it where you want it to be. To match the timing marks up. So I'm going to pull out the spark plugs as well as just the timing just for the valve. The rockers need to be torqued up, and doing that with the spark plugs out is going to be way easier than with compression. So. Beautiful. So we're gonna look at throwing our distributor in right now. Our number one is at top dead center on the power stroke of the valve. So we're gonna point this to number one and it should line up. Alright, so really weird thing about the Iron Duke. So we're at top dead center here on cylinder one, and the push rods are down, meaning it's the power stroke. If you come over to the timing gears, the cam gear is actually 180 degrees out from where the timing mark is on the crank gear. Which means if you rotate this to match it, that would be the power stroke for cylinder 4. So for timing the distributor, you actually have to put the cam gear 180 degrees out and then set the distributor to cylinder 1, which is there, because number 1 is that one on the distributor cap. Really strange. Alright, it's torque time. So we're going to start torquing down our rocker arms, and we're going to do the dad certified method of 1, 2, 3, and 5 first. Because those are all the push rods that are down at the moment, not riding on the cam at all. So we're gonna do those 4, and then we're gonna rotate the crank 360 degrees, and then we're gonna torque down, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, and 8. Yeah, so let's get started. 24 foot-pounds is what the internet says. Alright, so now we have a timed motor with rocker arms and a distributor. Yeah, so now it's pretty much just put back together time, with gaskets and silicone and all that fun stuff. So I got this, my timing cover here. I'm gonna do a bit of work to it before we throw it back on. I want to punch that out. We got a new one to go on, front main. And just clean up the edges because it is a little goopy still from the from when we took it apart. So I'm gonna be working on that, and the last thing we do today is goop it up and throw it on. I really think this crank gear is supposed to be able to just come off like that, because the harmonic balancer kind of presses in place when you put it on. And considering that we had to take the cam out of the engine to get the cam gear off, there's no way you could take the crank out of the engine to pop that crank gear off. So I think it's just supposed to kind of slide out like that. So, today, we don't have a whole lot to do, but we do have a decent amount to do. We gotta get the spark plugs back in, the valve cover back on, this little EGR, not EGR thing, as well as harmonic balancer, fan clutch hub, radiator, alternator. But yeah, step by step. So first, I'm gonna start with getting this valve cover back on. And start by giving this thing a clean in the parts washer. There's an unfortunate turn of events. I'm hoping it just leaked from elsewhere on there because I had the rat off, but we'll definitely see. So for oil, obviously I have a ton of shit in my oil. The best option would probably be to like pull the oil pan and clean everything out and wash it properly, but in order to do that, I probably need to pull the oil, or probably need to pull the motor. A lot of cars you do, so I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to give it like 2 or 3 oil changes in the next month here to get all the shit out. And like, it'd be different if it was a steel gear or even an aluminum gear that sheared off in there, but the fact it's just fiber, can't imagine it's going to do a whole lot more damage to this motor. So yeah, we'll just treat her with some frequent oil changes, and yeah, but let's get this air filter on here. Wing nuts. Bit by bit. Whoa. Timing. Whoa. Kicking the tripod. That's a no-no. What a perfectly opportune time for my starter to go. We're gonna get a new one. New one's on the way. Meanwhile, I'm just gonna pull this one out and get ready for the new one. Probably the shiniest part on my car for a while. That and the timing gears now, I guess. Alright, part 2. My guess is that it probably won't start right away because the distributor's probably not lined up right. The spark plug wires 1 and 2 were reversed, and my dumb mistake. So, it runs. Not great, but it runs. It runs exactly the same as it did before we took everything apart. Well, not exactly the same. It didn't run when we took it apart, which is why we took it apart, but yeah, I've been dealing with this misfiring issue with the timing and the ECM, but that's for another day. Today is done, and it runs and turns on, and it's timed as well as it can at the moment, but yeah, job well done. So we're finished up here with the Sonoma, and actually runs, so that's great. Next video will probably be more step side stuff. We got a few things we just got to finish up, but in that video you will see it drive, so stay tuned for that.